The whole of this so-called entrepreneurial society has focused on the city news we get in every bulletin, telling us what's happened to the pound sterling to 3 points of decimals against a basket of European currencies. Skill is what built this country's strength, and it is treated with contempt.
I saw a newspaper picture from the political campaign. A woman was kissing a child who was obviously in pain. She spills with compassion.
And I would just like to remember some words of St. Francis of Assisi, which I think are really just particularly apt at the moment. Where there is discord, may we bring harmony.
The ideological battle between two men, Mr. Scargill and Mr. McGregor, is bringing to quiet English villages scenes more akin to Poland or Chile.
And where there is despair, may we bring hope.
So I sent the horses in again. They were told to advance at a walk and then a trot. I wouldn't have been worried in the slightest if people had been trampled. I could not be held responsible if miners were silly enough to stay there.
I got to Rotherham police station and went into the cells, and I suppose I still feel sick and horrified at what I saw there. I'm used to seeing people who've been arrested and sometimes hurt by the police. I'm used to that. This wasn't like that at all. It was like the wounded survivors in a wartime.
When England was the whore of the world, Margaret was her madam. And the future looked as bright and as clear as the black tower Macadam. Well, I hope that she sleeps well at night, isn't haunted by it.
Here's to those driven out of work, denied healthcare, made homeless. Here's to those deemed unworthy of sympathy, those sacrificed for a morally blank ideology. Here's to the lives shortened, the money wasted, the despair, the violence, the futility, the irreparable losses to community and self-respect, and the squandering of the gains made after the Second World War, which were paid for in blood by the same despised poor. The UK sold itself short in the 80s, when the discovery of North Sea oil could have led to the transformation of a flagging post-empire economy into the industrial hub of Europe. Instead, we offshored our resource base the better to exploit the Third World, de-skilled our workforce, and crippled our public services. Plagues of poverty, crime, and drug addiction ripped through the land and sucked entire communities down with them. From the newspapers and television, what we got was distraction.
The officer in charge of the operation believes the hardcore wanted to storm Downing Street.
Henge in Wiltshire after violent clashes between police and a convoy of hippies. The convoy crashed through roadblocks to try to get into an illegal pop festival.
There have been more than 300 arrests, many by police snatch squads. Tonight, the hooligans have taken over.
And the slow stifling of the other view of human history. The view of those who have experienced the last 30 years in this country as a war of attrition, waged against them for being poor, being black.
The subsequent public inquiry into the murder concluded that the Metropolitan Police and other institutions were systematically letting black people down. That their phrase was institutionally racist.
Being Asian, being gay.
Children who need to be taught to respect traditional moral values are being taught that they have an inalienable right to be gay.
Being a public sector worker, being chronically, physically or mentally ill, for being an immigrant, for being a trade unionist, or simply not fitting the bland conservative idea of what constitutes a proper citizen.
What they're asking us to do is hand ourselves into custody like we did at Nostell Priory and get ourselves fitted up on charges that we don't want. They fitted us up, loads of us, last year. Nobody's done anything about it. Now they're about to start doing it again. And we need help. We're genuine people just like yourselves, and we need help right now. Yeah. Please, help us, all of you. Help us, stand by us.
I never thought for a moment that human life could be so cheap. But when they finally put you in the ground, they'll stand there laughing and tramp the dirt down.
I am happy that my successor will carry on the excellent policies that in fact have finished with the decline of socialism and have brought great prosperity to this country, which have raised Britain's standing in the world and in fact have brought about a truly capital-owning democracy.